Starring in Heat 2, 8th seed BattleBot, previous Grand Finalist Stinger, Beta the Axe Bot, newcomers Bot from the blue, veterans Onslaught, and the 5th seed and previous champion Storm. This is Robot Wars, the show that pits machines against each other in our rather realistic looking arena packed full of surprises. Another 6 robots begin, but only one will win. The reigning champions, Revolutionists, stuck to the script, defeating Trax and the previous champions, Hefty. It was no match for the Spinner, as Revolutionists found redemption and made it through to its heat final, where it defeated the world champions Axor. More luck than judgment, but in the end the disc was too powerful. It's not all over though. Axor will go through to the Robot Redemption fight in the semi-final stage. We cannot wait for that, but for now we need to unravel and unwrap 6 more robots for Heat 2. Making its return is Storm 3. Very little could survive this whirlwind, this cast on the arena. But Storm has some tough competition for this heat. And not only will they have to face each other, they'll have to contend with the arena hazards. The spikes, the flipper, the flames and the pit of oblivion, all present throughout each fight, along with the house robots, the guardians of the Robot Wars arena, all on hand to dish out destruction. Press the button to activate the pit.
Pit of oblivion.
House robots can go rogue.
Rogue robots.
And the hazard designed to confuse and torment.
Fog of war.
See through that at your peril. As ever, Refbots will be on hand to counter Beaten Machine out. If a fight lasts for 3 minutes, it will go to a judge's decision, where the winner will be projected on our screen here. So without further ado, let's see who is on the cards tonight. We have Storm 3, the 5th seeds, versus Onslaught, a veteran of the wars, versus Bot from the blue. Storm 3, Pusher, seeded number 5. Improvements have been made to Storm 3, who dropped a couple of places last year. They've never failed to reach the semi-finals on 6 previous attempts in the arena. Fast, nimble, low to the ground with a low centre of gravity, Storm 3 were very unlucky last year to lose in the semi-finals, and this was their appearance last year. In the heats, they defeated Blade. Exterminator were terminated by the Storm, and in the heat final defeated Tyrant. Before losing out in all 3 of its battles in the semi-finals against Witch Doctor, Challenger and Revolutionist. Have lessons been learnt for this robot warrior? Onslaught, Axe Bot. The veterans return for an 8th go at the title. They've never failed to enter a Robot Wars competition and have reached the heat final on 5 previous attempts. As always, Onslaught return unchanged with that top heavy axe. Bot from the blue, Flipper. You might need sunglasses for this one, extremely bright and blue. It's a Bolt from the blue. It's a first-time competitor, we've not seen it perform in the wars, but that flipper is immense. And it has a skid steer system which makes it manoeuvrable around the arena.
Robot Ian, stand by.
Also pretty manoeuvrable around the arena. Shunt is on patrol.
3, 2, 1, action!
It's good to see Storm 3 return, much improved by the looks of it. They've increased the armour, of course, on the front. Oh, and already a massive flip there from Bot from the blue against Onslaught. Onslaught returning. They didn't really put up a good fight in the last series, and by the looks of it, I mean, the hammer's just going to be completely ripped off by this immense flipper from Bot from the blue. Look how high this flip is. It nearly tossed Onslaught clean out of the arena. The Perspex barriers saving it, really. In comes Shunt, who's pressed the tyre and activated the Pit of Oblivion, which now descends in the arena. Roboteers, be careful of this. And look at the flip. Obviously, the ground clearance here now on Bot from the blue is lower than Storm. Storm are going to have to be very careful here. The 5th seed's in a bit of peril. I think Onslaught here will be in the running from the pinball because they've been on their backs for far too long. Storm 3, though, is under pressure. On the flame pit it goes, and Shunt now getting its... Oh, its axe stuck right in. Refbot now coming to count on Onslaught, down and out. Well, they lose their first fight once again, Onslaught. Is it time to go back to the drawing board? Because that's twice in a row now they've lost in the first round. They have got to the heat finals on many times in the past. I think, though, look at this. I think Onslaught, though, are past its sell-by date, and the huge changes are going to have to be made, I think, for them if they're going to return for a future campaign. What a flip! Oh, they've been attacking Shunt as well. The house under attack from this monster, this Bolt from the blue. Look how high and far that robot flew. I am speechless. Storm 3 finished second. Bot from the blue, is this the robot to watch this series? Well, Cease has been called. And look at this, Bot from the blue attacking Onslaught. This isn't allowed. Now they've got to be very careful here because Refbot, Cease called again, has given them a yellow card. They've attacked Shunt, they've attacked Onslaught, they've attacked Storm. There's nothing left to attack. I am hugely impressed. Bot from the blue, one to look out for in this heat. Shunt overturned, the house robots humiliated, and Bot from the blue untouched and unscathed. What a performance. This is brilliant. Bot from the blue will finish first. Storm 3 will now be against the winner of the next fight, which could be BattleBots. Oh goodness me. What a clash. This is why it's so important to finish first. Melee 2 next.
BattleBots, Flipper, seeded number 8.
What can one say regarding BattleBots? The crowd pleaser of the arena returns to fight for a 7th go for the title. They've been always the bridesmaids, never the bride. Once got to 4th place, but last series they did extremely well, getting through to the semi-finals in one of the greatest opening first rounds we've seen against Dan Tonk here. Wedgehog was squashed by the flip before meeting the then champion challenger in the heat final. They did get through to the redemption round by one of the greatest flips we've ever seen in the arena, breaking records all the time. Also defeating Tombstone, but in the end it was Disco Inferno that stopped BattleBot from progressing through to the grand final.
Stinger, Thwackbot.
Stinger returned to the arena to put the sting up any Roboteer that dares to enter its perimeter. It once reached 3rd place, and that was the last time we did see Stinger. They are back for vengeance. Let's see how they do in the arena.
Beta, Axebot.
New to the wars, Beta are apparently better than most axes we've seen in the wars. It is the heaviest robot in the heat, weighing in at a sturdy 108 kilos, and the ability for it to self-right is incredibly quick. So that axe we are expecting great things from, as the robots wait to clash in Melee 2.
Roboteers, stand by.
Coming back with a bit of a personality disorder is Dead Metal.
3, 2, 1, action!
One to look out for, BattleBot, who seeds number 8 for the tournament. This series is against Beta with that hugely powerful axe. Look at that go. It's really fast to say speedy across the arena, as you can see. Flying across the arena. In goes Stinger, and the flip there from BattleBot, ever present. We love this robot. It can flip so high. Look at this. It came in underneath, and actually the lowest of the ground clearance here is Beta. It's sort of Stinger helped out with that attack there, but in doing so, it's got into a bit of a problem here on towards the flame pit and into the clutches of Dead Metal. They did very well to get away from there. Goodness me, Beta moving about like a mad machine that seems to have very little control, and the flip from BattleBot removes the side armor. But this was the flip we saw before there, just balancing before that initial impact there. We can see from Stinger, look at that power from the spin. We've seen Stinger perform on so many times in the wars in the past. Once it gets onto that spin, the Stinger, the deadly sting in the tail, Stinger are lethal. And at the moment, BattleBot are in a spot of bother here as Beta now comes in for the kill onto Stinger. It's still acting very crazy here. BattleBot now coming in with the flip. It's got underneath Beta, and of course with the side panels that have come off Beta, this was probably going to increase the ground clearance. There we can see the spin and a flip from the spikes. Is that controlled? I'm not too sure. It never is really from Stinger. Once came 4th place in the 5th Wars. They did very well. Their last campaign that we saw them with. That's a great drive there from Beta. Now that's probably the first time we've seen the control there from Beta as they got the axe in. What a great attack that is. As they slam in towards the arena wall now. Is everything okay with BattleBot? Seems to be a bit of an afterthought at the moment. BattleBot, as it comes in with the attack here, they just cannot get underneath Beta. We did warn that Beta had the lowest ground clearance here as the attacks keep on coming in. Look, against the arena button, and the fog of war has activated. Look at this. Roboteers, be aware that you'll probably lose your way around the arena now that that's come into place as the smoke filters across the stage, as the lights gleam in the background, as now all 3 robots attempt to sort of, well, I don't really know who's on top here. Stinger have been the more aggressive. Beta have been out of control. BattleBot, a bit of an afterthought, and another attack here from Stinger. At the moment, I think Stinger are on top here out of all 3 of them, considering what we've just seen until that moment where BattleBot flipped. Well, it was the floor flipper that did the damage, pushed Beta onto the flipper. Now this is a shame here. Beta should be able to self-right from that position. I'm not too sure why. They claim that they've got such a fast self-righting mechanism, but we're just not seeing it. Refbot's coming in to count out. Well, they're going to have to beat the clock here. If they can beat the clock and take it to a judges, they just might escape the melee. I don't believe it. Oh, Beta beaten by the clock. Now, I'm hearing the judges want to assess who takes first place, because on the evidence of this, Stinger here are on top. BattleBot got into a lot of trouble, I think, from Stinger. Some initial, those attacks there from Stinger, absolutely devastating once there and again. And I'm hearing that the judges have given first place to Stinger. So Stinger will win the melee, which means BattleBot will place 2nd place and will be up against the 1st place winner of the last fight. Bolt from the Blue Water, flipping frenzy that's going to be. Stinger and Storm, grudge match there, more later. But next, our judges have to decide who's going to take on the pinball. Who would they like to see more of today? It's Beta. Well, I should think so, because they were so close to winning their opening melee there. So Beta can find redemption here. If they can hit the barrels down, that'll be 5 points. Hit the silver sphere into the highlighted pit. That's a further 30 points. The cone's tipped over. That'll score you 5 points each, but the cones actually have to be flipped over, not just stationary like that. It's that big metal thing that goes onto the floor flipper. Flip that onto the other side of the cones, that'll be a further 40 points, and the seesaw another 20. And onto the other side, Dead Metal patrols the big 75 button, hit 25 points for each brick into the pit. That'll do you some good. The house robots, though, as ever, on patrol, so be aware. 50 points up to the ramp, but be careful not to actually completely go out the arena there. And the multi-ball release, 10 points release, 5 points for each ball into the pit.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
Now the pinball is all about control. That's not the way to do it. Because the ground clearance, we saw it in the last fight, is so low. It's actually, I don't think the wheels are actually on the floor there. But Beta, probably not the best to take on the pinball because it is out of control quite a lot here as it heads in. Goodness me, it's destroying the set. Is it actually hitting and scoring points here? I don't think so. And it's just, well, best place for it really, I think. It can stop ripping our set apart. Beta, Dead Metal, sort Beta out. In the pit you go. Cease called. Thank goodness for that. Highlights. Well, we'll try and dig some out for you. Attempting to... The barrels are such an easy thing to get. They did do so, but it took them time before zooming across the arena. Right about now. Got some bricks, which is okay, but then self-destructed. Beta could have done better. Mighty ball. Could have done much better than that. It's a shame, really, but Track still leads with 120 points. More next time. We move back to the main competition. And first, we have Stinger against Storm 3. And it's actually a rematch from the grand final. This is the last time we saw Stinger in competitive play here. And it was a devastating fight. One of the best fights we saw from the series. Lots of dramatic moments that we saw here from both machines, but in the end, despite taking damage, Storm came out on top. They meet again, but who will win?
Robot ears, stand by.
Taking centre stage is the resident dentist. That's one hell of a saw. And resident playground bully.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Good fight this. Like I said, they haven't fought since they met in the grand final of the 5th series. Storm, of course, coming back much improved, much tougher armour. Stinger, I think, is more devastating than we've ever seen it, really, I think. Of course, defeating and winning in its opening melee against BattleBots as it comes in now against the side of the arena. Now, the thing is with Stinger, it's so difficult. Oh! Never seen that before. I was going to say, it's so difficult to get a hold of Stinger for Storm, even though Storm are very quick along the arena floor. But look at this. Talking of floor damage, we need to get that repaired. I've never seen that before. 4 spikes left. Goodness me, as Stinger then descends and heads in towards Dead Metal's corner. Oh, you don't want the saw on those wheels. They are exposed wheels. Is it going to saw through the tyre? I'm not too sure. You go into a corner patrol zone. You are food for the house robots. Competitors, they never learn. They never learn. They keep going in. Oh, and Stinger are on the edge of the arena wall. Now, this is what killed them. This is like a deja vu performance from when we saw them performing the last time they met on that same wall. And Sakillalot's dug right into the hole there, into the innards. Look at this. This is like a step-by-step reconstruction of what happened in the last series on that same wall in the arena. And at the moment, it looks like we're going to have Refbot come in and count Stinger out because that is technically an immobilization. You are... Oh! Goodness me, Storm, you have to be very careful that Refbot doesn't give you a yellow card, but the red card goes to Stinger, and that is classed as an immobilization. The arena wall is a hazard, but look, no, Storm hasn't got away with that little bump into the back of Refbot. Got to be very careful here, the 5th seeds. They might well be a previous champion, but living on the edge here now, and certainly Stinger is living on the edge as Killalot lifts up, and he must have, I think his lance has got dug in. He's made a hole in the armour there of Stinger as it hoists Stinger up into the arena air. I don't know what Killalot here can do now, but it's not a very pleasant ending here to Stinger's campaign in the 8th Wars as the flames burn through the tyres. Dead Metal presses the release button for the Pit of Oblivion. Looks like that's where Stinger's going to head. What a shame for Stinger. We didn't really get to see it perform that well in this series. I'm sure they will return, but Killalot seems to be having a bit of trouble here. Come on, Killalot, you're the schoolboy bully. You're not meant to be. Stinger's abusing you here. Killalot's overbalancing here. The Knight of the Realm has lost its knighthood. It's lost its lance. I've never seen that before. Spike's gone from the arena and Killalot's lost one weapon. Killalot, you need a repair with that. I've never seen that before. Killalot, embarrassed. Stinger out. Storm through to another heat final. And there we can see it on paper. But next, we have the bad boys of Bot from the Blue versus BattleBot, all the bees in the arena next.
Robot ears, stand by.
Well, after Sir Killalot's incident, Dead Metal takes centre stage. And for the first time tonight, it's Matilda.
3, 2, 1.
Now, in terms of ground clearance, it's going to be quite difficult, I think, for either robots. We'll have to be around the side because both robots are incredibly low to the ground. Already Bot from the Blue. This is looks like a sturdy, compact and low centre of gravity. Just a great design. Up and over we go from BattleBot. Brilliantly self-right. This is what we love about BattleBot. The number 8 seed here performing as we knew it would, even though it did come second in the melee. And another flip here. Now, Bot from the Blue can self-right from that position and has done. BattleBot now coming in with the flip. Oh!
Rogue Robot.
Oh my goodness me. Well, the Rogue Robot has been activated. Matilda comes to attack Bot from the Blue now, who... I can't believe what we've just seen. Who attacks Matilda. Matilda now coming in. The Rogue Robot's now going to have to be careful, Bot from the Blue. I'm absolutely stunned. Look at this flip. BattleBot. Well, Dead Metal's activated the Fog of War, which has just gone off. I think the focus here needs to be on what's happened to BattleBot. I think the fight's still going, and we're just in a bit of shock here. The fact that BattleBot is no more. It's out. The 8 seed's gone at such an early stage. There's its flipper. I am shocked. Never have I seen BattleBot suffer like that at such an early stage. Bot from the Blue, you've got to watch this robot. I think the Heat favourites now, despite meeting Storm in the Heat final. A flip. BattleBot shattered in seconds. What an untimely flip, because if you look at this, any other position, it would have been fine. But it hit the Perspex barrier and the flipper opened and it just snapped in two. Look at this, I am speechless. This is what we love to see in Robot Wars. Fresh blood coming through to attack the old guard. And that's what's happened. No more is BattleBot for the 8th series. Bot from the Blue will progress to its first Heat final to meet the veterans. That is Storm.
Storm 3. Pusher. Seeded number 5.
Our Heat final tonight is a battle of the contrasts. The old guard versus the new wave. And Storm actually was against Bot from the Blue in the opening melee. Bot from the blue will have to start as the favourites here, as they did flip Storm 3 out of the arena. If that was any earlier, we could have had a major shock on our hands. The 5th seeds just flew and disappeared out of sight. The Storm was put out, but came back against Stinger in a much sturdier and much more vintage performance, defeating Stinger in the grudge match. Storm 3, currently ranked the 2nd best robot in the Robot Wars world at the moment. Very little has got in the way of this whirlwind.
Bot from the blue. Flip out.
But don't you just love an underdog? Bot from the blue has impressed right from the word activate. Its debut performance, defeating one of the best robots to have ever graced the arena in the opening melee by tossing Storm nearly in the pit once, as well as the house robots and Onslaught. It decimated all comers in that opening melee. We've not seen anything like that in quite a while. It then defeated another seed, BattleBot, in the 2nd round. This was unprecedented. This was one of the best flips to ever have been seen in the arena. This was special. Out went BattleBot. Through went Bot from the blue to its first heat final. On the outside, it looks pretty. It looks innocent. But get to the innards, and this machine, I think, is worthy of robot stardom. Even though it's his first time competitor, we've got high hopes for this underdog as they meet in the arena. Also joining is Shunt and Matilda, old pals for a heat final. Here we go.
Robot ears, stand by.
Can Storm 3 blow away the Bot from the blue?
3, 2, 1.
What a fight this is going to be. Yes, they did meet in the melee. We can sort of analyse the statistics here that, yes, Bot from the blue did technically beat Storm, but Storm, look at this, the experience of the seeded machine and the past champion showing here. It's using the CP's heads, and Bot from the blue is retaliating. Look at this flip. Shunt once again on the end of a devastating flip. Shunt, I suppose, writing the right way as the button for the rogue robot activates, which will unleash a robot for 10 seconds, and Matilda now comes into play and is focused now on their attention now is on Storm. Storm now flipped against the arena wall. Matilda coming in to cause all sorts of trouble, getting some sort of revenge, I think, for the attack on the house tonight, as Shunt now comes in for the kill. But look at this, Bot from the blue, and he's one flip, and Storm's flipper arm has been ripped off from that impact. Look at this, the seeded machine, Storm 5, seeded 5 should I say, Storm 3 in all sorts of trouble now. It's Bot from the blue, another flip here, Storm 3 on the edge here. They need to come back with another slammer. They have done, look at this, experience here. Bot from the blue maybe a little bit naive there with that attack, and another flip. You don't even need to be against the arena wall. This was tremendous. Look at the slam. And look where it landed. And a bit's come off and it's landed on the flipper. Look. Storm 3 here now on the verge of going out and losing its first ever heat final here. Bot from the blue, what can it do? All of a sudden there's silence. There's a bit of a lull in the tension. There's another flip here from Bot from the blue. Storm 3 here now needs to avoid the house robots. It's running away. I've never seen a Twister, a Storm run away, and it's just been flipped out the arena. Well, it's not been flipped. It's been launched. What timing from that? I don't believe this. What a heat this has been. Storm forgot to press the brakes. They've just driven out of the arena. I've never seen a robot just drive out of the arena. Cease called on an absolute famous victory here from Bot from the blue. Storm 3, one of the best robots to have ever been seen in the wars, is out for now. They go through to the 6th Robot Rumble, but for now the glory lies with Bot from the blue as the Storm dissipates